Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello. I hope you are all doing well. How are we doing? Let's check in. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cosmic Crusade podcast. This is a intense and energetic 6th episode. Let's go. Now listen. Yes, I am the hippy dippy. Yes, I am giving you Teresa Caputo, but like hipped out, but also glam, okay? And you know what? I am feeling my creative oats. I am feeling the creativity. I am feeling that craft, that color, that let's just channel it. Literally, that's exactly what I said. I said, you know what? I haven't beat my face in like forever. Forever. It's been a minute. And you know what? Let's have some fun. Like, I have all of these little bits and trinkets and clothes and, let's make a piece. Let's do some art. And I love all of it. Blue's my favorite color, hello. And we are living it with the background too, which y'all already know how I feel about this background, okay? It is me, it is tea. I am absolutely obsessed, okay? But I hope you all have been doing well. Since last episode, I went out with my boyfriend and we were hitting up Dave & Buster's with his friends. Yeah, Dave & Buster's, we're back at it. I guess you can call us frequent flyers, okay? We love Dave & Buster's moment, but it was really convenient because his friends wanted to go and hang out and just have some fun, play some games, you know, do the do on a Wednesday. And if you don't know this already about Dave & Buster's, they have this cool little deal that they do on Wednesdays where it's like half off Wednesdays, but it's only for like the cost of the games, right? There's not like extra food or anything, but amazing. That works really well for like me and my boyfriend personally as well, since like Wednesday is typically the day that we both don't work, so we can have little date days on Wednesdays with that. It was absolutely amazing. It was kind of a weird vibe at first. It was crazy. Like, obviously, it's a deal, and we're going, like, in the evening time, you know, everybody's already off of work, families are coming and playing with the kids, so it was, like, busy, and it was like, it kind of felt like they were understaffed a little bit, because, like, we did get a table, and we were having some food, some drinks, and it was just taking a minute, which, like, whatever, you know, that happens, that's, like, no shade to them, that's, like, Dave & Buster's corporate level, like, issues, like, staff your people, whatever, but yeah, we still had a wonderful time. We had a blast. We did Mario Kart. You already know. You already know from the other video how I feel about Dave & Buster's and what we were trying to hit up. It was a blast. So that was definitely a highlight for me from this past week. I would say, like, in terms of a sort of low moment, there had been a lot of lows this past week, okay? That was a high point. We had fun at Dave & Buster's, but this week was just kind of mid. You know, I think I was talking about this before, and if I didn't make it in the episode, then it was definitely just prevalent in my mind. But everybody's just been in that gray era, that kind of meh. The kind of, okay, nothing's necessarily great, but nothing's necessarily awful. It's just kind of coasting type of energy. And you know what? I love it. I love it. Like, everybody's just feeling kind of morally gray, and we're just like, bleh, and it's like, Great. That's wonderful. It's not fun to live in at all. But you know what? I am very like yin yang. So in my head, I'm going through this now and I'm experiencing this kind of drought. Oh, that's a really good word for it. Drought. A lot of people are experiencing drought in their happiness, in their joy, in their passions, in their hobbies, and things that excite them. Like, I think that's just kind of also like the seasonal depression that a lot of people will be experiencing during this time as we're like coming through and we're getting out of winter and transitioning into that springtime, but it's not a full transition yet and we're not fully in the sunshine and nice weather. We're kind of existing in that middle gray bleh era, right? So I think that is a lot of the influence of the energy, but I am very yin yang in the sense of like, I'm going through it now because something awesome is coming, right? I can't appreciate the positive. I can't appreciate the good when it's good if I don't have the bad when it's bad, you know? Because if you're just having a truly neutral experience, then everything is just bland and boring and gray. So in a weird sort of way, I feel like it's kind of important, in a sense, to be feeling these feelings and going through this type of like meh, mid, kind of moment. It's important because, you know, it's life. You just have to experience it. You just have to live it. And then honestly, I don't think there was anything that was crazy or strange or like exciting random that was happening in my life this past week. Like, I would say for me, it's pretty much, you know, the life of someone in their 20s, work, 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 or whatever Rihanna said. It's just very, I'm working and then I have my next shift and then I'm working and then I have a day off and then I'm working late and I have to work early the next day, so it's work, 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 work. We making money, honey, that's what we do. So there wasn't anything that was necessarily too exciting or interesting that was happening for me recently. Just kind of a normal, average little week, I would say. We are doing another yoga session that is up and coming. I'm very excited because this is like, first yoga class ever was last year, once in the entire year. We're in like the first quarter of this new year and I'm already going to a second class. Like, that's exciting. That's wonderful. I'm getting out there and I'm experiencing different things. This one is going to be a gentle flow. So the last one we did was like the vinyasa, where like you're flowing through all of the poses and you're moving very like with intention in every move and you're moving the entire time. The gentle flow, I feel like it's kind of in the name. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm very excited for that. I love taking care of the body, and like I feel that things of that nature where it's like very restorative, very calming, very relaxing, gentle, but like we're stretching and like we're giving the juice. Okay, we're giving the body the juice that she needs to flow properly. Yeah, so that's kind of my little plot for the weekend. But let's go ahead and get comfy, get cozy, get ready to talk about that mystic, that cryptic, and all that wonderful weird shit in between. And let's go ahead and dive into this week's episode. Okay, so this week we are going to be talking about astrology. I am going to hit you with all 12 signs. Every single one of them we're going to be discussing, okay? We're not going to be going crazy in depth because the way that my brain kind of visualizes this is like, I'm going to set some foundational building blocks, and then in the future we can build upon that and have deeper conversations, right? We can get into the different planetary aspects, we can get into the natal chart, we can get into, you know, the houses, we could get into astrocartography. There are so many different avenues of conversation that we can build in terms of astrology, but I want to talk very lightly just so we can cover all 12 of them, because when we are talking about like literally 12 of anything, that's so much. That is so much, right? So we want to keep it light and fluffy for this first little introductory vibe, and then we'll dig in and we'll get the juice later, okay? Kind of a warm-up, if you will. Now, so when I'm talking about the signs in today and in this aspect, I'm speaking mainly through the lens of like the sun sign, you know, just basic. If anyone's asking, what's your horoscope? What's your astrology sign? And the answer that you're giving there, that's what we're talking about, okay? There are going to be instances where I'll probably discuss and talk about like moon aspects or rising aspects, just like something little light within that, but we'll dive into it if we find ourselves at that crossroads. So yeah, let's just go ahead and dive right in. Let's start talking about some astrology. So the 12 astrological signs get put into 4 different groups, right? And each of those groups are assigned an element. So the air signs are Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. For the water signs, you have Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. And then for the earth signs, you have Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And for the fire signs, you have Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Now, as an Aquarius, I have to clear the air, okay? Because, yes, honey, we are air. We are the airy, flowy, creative, intuitive energy. We're not water. Which is confusing, and I understand, because our, like, representation, our sign is the water bearer. So, I get that. We are air, though. We are air. Now, so within these elemental groupings, there are similarities, right? You are going to have fire energy, you'll have earth energy, so on and so forth, right? But we'll go ahead and dive in and explore that a little bit deeper here. Now let's go ahead and just start the conversation off with going through and discussing each sign, starting off with the air signs, okay? So let's just start off with Geminis. Let's get it out there, because you know what? I feel like there was a really strong era on the interwebs a few years back where everybody really had a lot of things to say for Geminis, and I love my Gemini sisters. Except when I hate them. But I love them until they're awful. And that's the thing with Gemini. They are very multifaceted. It's not that it's the same coin, right? There are two sides, but it's the same coin. It's the heads and the tails of the penny. That's a Gemini. That's what they are. They have different aspects of themselves. I think a lot of Geminis can be like really playful. They can be really creative in that sense. They have like a childlike wonder to them almost, you know? They're very fun people to be around. And in terms of engaging in a conversation, that is where there is the most intellectual stimulation. It's a Gemini. Geminis are really good storytellers. If nothing else, they can weave that web through a story, okay? Geminis are really good with that. But then you do have the negative aspects of the Gemini as well. And a lot of Geminis like to play games, okay? They like to play little social games. They like to play little mental games. And sometimes the interaction or experience is just that for them. They're just playing a game. Again, that's kind of like that childlike wonder, but it's a game. And sometimes you don't realize it's a game. And that's how some people can get a little hurt with Geminis. Now, for Libras, they are all about balance, right? They are very meticulous and particular with things, but in a really creative sense. And Libras are sort of known to be like diplomatic and like very balancing the scales of justice, right? But a lot of times too, you'll find that Libras can be like, they're not necessarily ones to be forthcoming. They're kind of like avoiding conflict and things of that nature. They don't want confrontation. They just want the peace, and they want to maintain the peace. That's kind of the thing with Libras. But they're really cool. They are some of the most creative people that you'll find as well. It's like they have a vision, and they bring it to life in a way only a Libra could, you know? It's very interesting. If you ever find a Libra that has like a knack for design and they're like passionate about it, right? Oh, that's gonna be some of the best design work you'll see, okay? Now, you know we gotta talk about the Aquarius sisters. Mi familia. I obviously love being an Aquarius, but my God, there's a lot to be said about an Aquarius. Now, on the positive side, we are creative, we are inventive, you know, we're looking towards the future, and we have that humanitarian aspect, like we really want to better the future of humanity, and we want to bring about new inventions and things in a new lens, right? Like, you think of Aquarius, it's very that like stoner hippie girls, like let's talk about aliens and like life's mysteries, like that is very the Aquarius vibe. But also, Aquarians are some of the most aloof people that you'll ever meet, okay? Emotional regulation, do we know her? Do Aquarians know emotional regulation? I think a lot of Aquarians are in that state of I don't have feelings. You know, Aquarians are queens of detachment, okay? If an Aquarian doesn't want it, gone. Gone, okay? Thanos snapping that ish out of reality, okay? Aquarians are really cool if you can get them to let their guard down and welcome you in. Now, once you're welcomed in, it's a wonderful environment. It's creative, it's fun, it's kooky. You're always on your toes. You're never knowing what to expect, okay? It's very, things are gonna be out of pocket. Things are gonna come at you out of left field. But in a fun way, in a creative way, in a jokey haha way. But it's getting them to take those walls down. That's the problem. Aquarians are very cold. That's their thing, okay? So that's a wrap on our air signs. Let's go ahead and talk about the fire signs. Ooh, fiery. Ooh, that energy, that passion. Yes. Aries, you little rams. You little rams. Okay, obviously Aries anger. Aries anger. Aries anger. Aries anger. That's the thing. That's what we're like highly associated with, right? But Aries have a lot of passion. That's their thing, right? They're very passionate. And if they have a vision, they are going to work to bring it to life, right? They're going to be meticulous about it. They're going to have their whole faith put into it. And it's the passion aspect of things that can be a little alarming to other people, right? And I think you'll also find your Aries friend is the one who's saying that you should go skydiving. Your Aries friend is the one who wants to go rock climbing. You know, they love the thrill of life, right? They're very courageous people, but they also do sometimes have that temperament that people are aware of, right? They're impatient, they're impulsive. It's very, I want it all and I want it now. Like, I'm not waiting. Why would I wait when I could go get it? I should have it. Why isn't it already here? Because I just thought of it, it should be here. That is the Aries impulsiveness and impatience. That is a very prevalent trait for them. If they want it, it better be now. And the thing with Aries as well is they could be so unaware of the fact that they want it. Whatever they're wanting, whatever they're yearning for, it could come at a moment's notice of realization to them. Sometimes they don't even know they want it until like something happens and they figure out, like, a good example is like not eating. Like an Aries will not eat. An Aries is that type of person who's not eating and then like 6 hours later is snapping because they're hangry and didn't even realize that that was like what was going on. And it's like, honey, eat something. But they want that food and they want it now. Okay, so next, wrapping up with our Aries, we gotta go on to Sagittarius. I love a Sagittarius, okay? Sagittarians are the visionary, right? They're very kind of like the Aquarius of fire signs in the sense of like we're thinking towards the future and like we're shooting for the stars. I love a Sagittarian's creativity. If you have a Sagittarian who's like in music or in theater, that is so entertaining. I love it. I eat it up. The Sagittarian lens of fire energy is my favorite lens because of how fun they are. You know, just as an Aquarius, I get along so well with Sagittarians. They're very fun people to be around. And you know, Queen Nikki said it best. Sagittarius, so you know I'm an optimist. Because that's exactly what they are. They are optimistic people. But sometimes there's like a fear of commitment. Like sometimes Sagittarians have trouble getting into relationships in the sense of like, is this right? They're kind of having that inner saboteur, the battle inside the mind of, is this really what I should be doing? I could probably do something else, right? Like very weighing the options there. They're also a little honest, okay? They can be a little blunt. They're gonna tell you what they're feeling and not have much regard for your feelings. They have the thought and they want you to know that you made them feel some type of way. They're gonna let you know, okay? Now next we gotta talk about Leo, the lion, the pride, right? That's very Leo energy, very proud, very, I am the moment, I am all of this energy. Leos very much so have like this confidence, right? They can control a room, right? But they also love the drama. They love the dramatics. They love that type of entertainment, right? A Leo is the type of person who's gonna be into daytime television, okay? The drama shows, housewives, like very that's Leo. Leos can also be like a little jealous, controlling, possessive, like that type of energy as a person. Like a Leo can have like that territorial energy of like ownership, of like, yeah, this is mine, back off. Like trying to have that intimidation piece to it. Okay, I see you, Leo. I see you. And I respect you. So next up, we gotta bring in the water signs. Come in, babies. Come in, my good Judies. Let's just start it off with Cancer, because crybabies. Wham, boo-hoo. Crybaby in the sense of, like, they cry more than I could ever conceive crying. Okay? Where they feel 100% of the emotions, I'm not. Right? Like, they're feeling out everything. And the funny thing with a Cancer, they can cry and be really upset and having their moment. Give them 5 minutes. Back to normal. Okay, emotions. She was quick with it too. Crazy. But I love Cancers. Cancers also have like this very welcoming, nurturing, like kind of maternal vibe to them, right? The Cancer is the type of friend who will always make sure that everybody at the gig, everybody at the hang is taken care of. Oh, honey, do you have food? Do you have water? Okay. Are you comfy? Do you need a blanket? Do you know where the bathroom is? Like, a Cancer is thinking shit out. A Cancer is like who you want to be the mom friend of the group, right? That is like the idealistic archetype for a Cancer. I feel like they can fall into depressive phases more than like your average Joe Schmo. I feel like they are prone to that, I dare say. But they don't let that affect other people in the sense of like they're trying to handle their own shit. But they're not hiding it. Like they're wearing their heart on their sleeve type of bitch, but they're handling their own shit, okay? Now, Scorpios, listen, I love to do this kind of like hypotheticals, right? Like if you had the chance now to pick whatever sign that you would like to be, what sign would you be? Like if you could choose your sign, who would you be? I would be a Scorpio, okay? Scorpios are like the cool kid, the edgy. She's not like other girls. She's a little out there. She's a little different and kind of dark and mysterious, and I love it. Oh god. Scorpios are like bait, okay? And I'm the fish and they're reeling me in. Okay, Scorpios get me every time. Scorpios are so interesting to me as people, okay? But with that, Scorpios are also the type of bitches who are gonna hold a grudge, okay? A Scorpio will hold a grudge. Scorpios can be really intense with their energy too. Like if something's bothering them, they're gonna hold on to that until like some sort of resolution has come, or like it's been months and months and months. Like a Scorpio, and it's also because they can be possessive and jealous, similar to like Scorpio's the Leo of the water signs, right? And they can have that like territorial, possessive, controlling, I need to be the one who's like managing and doing all of this because you're not going to do it right and it's going to upset me. That would be a Scorpio. That is Scorpio energy. But they can be creative and fun too. I love them. I love Scorpios. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Pisces. Now, Pisces, a big number 12, you are the tail end of the zodiacs. Pisces are really known for being like spiritual, right? They are the most in tune. They are the most intuitive, right? They are very connected to spirit. And I love that for them. I kind of think in that aspect, I vibe with the Pisces on that level. However, Pisces really do love a game. Pisces are the Gemini equivalent of the water signs, okay? Because they love to play little games. Pisces like to be a trickster. Pisces is kind of like a trickster spirit, right? Like, they're showing you one thing, but then they're feeling and saying another, right? Like, they're telling you something and they're showing you something, but then sometimes they go to somebody else. Pisces. Now, Pisces can be a little emotional, but I think they have a lot of empathy and sympathy. Like, it's very much a welcome environment for you to open up your heart to a Pisces. And that's what they want too. Like, they want to be that safe space for you. But I think the issue is when a Pisces has been hurt, because then they're turning and burning and manipulating, and that's the like moon side of the Pisces, right? The dark side of the Pisces, you know. But moving on, we have the earth signs. Now we're going to be digging into some Taurus energy. Now listen, my least favorite placement ever of all time is a Taurus man. A male identifying Taurus, get out. Get out. Like, that for me, energetically, is just my polar opposite. I have had Taurus men that I've interacted with and have had pleasant experiences, but it's far and it's few, okay? Taurus men, get ready, okay? Oh my God, stubborn. That's just all 3 points right there. Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. Taurus men, oh, wow, wow, wow. You're taking that, like, earth energy, right? That grounded and, like, the bull energy, the stubborn, the I'm gonna get my way and it has to be this way, or the highway, and wow. As an Aquarius, I feel very free, very airy, very go with the flow, very free spirit, very marching to the beat of my own drum. The Taurus wants everybody on one drum because it's just simpler to them. Oh my God, a Taurus man, I can't. That is my least favorite placement, I will say. But that's not for all Taurus. Taurus women, the best of best friends you could ever find. I love a Taurus woman. Love, 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 love. Okay, so the positive aspects of the Taurus. A Taurus knows how to be comfortable more than anybody knows how to be comfortable, okay? I bet it was like a Taurus who's inventing house slippers, okay? Like, a Taurus is sitting at home and, like, they're on their couch, but honestly, it looks like they're in a bed. They're in an oasis. They have their own little foot spa. They have a candlelight. They're sipping their tea. They're reading their book. They're burning some incense. Okay, maybe they have some like little background music going, some white noise, what have you. But like this is very Taurus energy. Okay, very comfortable. So while they are also the queens of comfort, I think Taurus are very like generous, right? They're very calming and they're very like down to earth and that same sense of like comfortability. So we love a good Taurus. Next up, we gotta talk about Virgo. Virgo is another one for me that's a little bit of a struggle sometimes. Less than Taurus, absolutely less than Taurus. I can get along with a lot of Virgos, but sometimes Virgos are very meticulous people, okay? If they have a vision, they're gonna bring it to life in their way. Same idea with the Taurus, like these earth signs and their grounded energy, love it for them. But I don't have stubborn in my system. It doesn't exist over here. I can't do that. I could like change and it's fine. But Virgos are very meticulous and I find that like in working with Virgos, if I'm doing something in like my creative flow state way of like, oh yeah, this would be fun. Let's try this out. Let's do something different. A Virgo's gonna be like, I'm trying something new, and a Virgo is not vibing with it. Virgo wants it to be the same way. Like, let's say we're cooking a hamburger. I'm putting mushrooms on it. I love a little mushroom moment. Why not? Let's have fun. Virgo saying, why are you putting mushrooms on a hamburger? Should just be the burger. That's a Virgo. If they have it one way and it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That was probably a Virgo that done said that, okay? So yes, while Virgos are very detail-oriented and overthinkers and perfectionists, they're also super loyal and hardworking in the same sense that the Taurus is, like hard workers. We find hard workers in these earth signs, okay? And that also has to bring us to Capricorn, the queen of hard work. She's a single mom who works 2 jobs, okay? She loves her kids and never stops. Love it. You know I had to. But a Capricorn is like the inventor of overtime. A Capricorn is a hard worker. If a Capricorn has their mind set to something, oh, it's done. Oh, it's done, and it's done well, okay? Capricorn takes the crown for hardworking of the earth signs in that sense, right? Now, Capricorns are practical, they're loyal, and they're realistic for most of the time, but they are also that like boss that you have that is going to have things to a standard and everything has to be up to that standard. Anything below it is absolutely unacceptable, okay? That is the Capricorn energy. And also, while we are on the topic of Capricorn, another sour placement for me in my charts, not my charts, other people's charts. Capricorn in the moon placement. If you have a moon placement of Capricorn, wow. Wow. Here are the traits that I notice most with Capricorn moons, okay? We're complaining, we take issue with something, right? And we're talking about it, and we're telling everybody about it multiple times. Like, this big issue in our lives, I just can't get over. Oh my gosh, I hate that this is happening. This is the end of the world. And while there's that, like, kind of spiral moment happening, guess what? Nothing else is happening. We are sitting here and our wheels are spinning, okay? But they're spinning in mud. They're spinning in mud. You're not getting anywhere with it. And that is what a Capricorn moon loves to do. Through my experience and what I have learned by interacting with them, they love to complain and do nothing to solve the problem. They're not gonna put forth the effort to fix what's bothering them. They're comfortable just bitching about it, okay? Yapping about it is sometimes just enough for them. And I love that for them. That's wonderful for them. Not for me, who has to hear the same bitching, moaning, and groaning 1,200 times, okay? Capricorn moons, peace and love, but wow. Y'all know how to complain. Yeah, you know, a Capricorn moon was the one that invented HR, okay? With all them complaints. Like, damn. Come on, Capricorn moons. Now, so this week, I'm bringing us back with our golden mantras moment. You know, I think we could all use some motivation. I think we could all use some mantras of affirmation. And I am excited to see what they are gonna give us this week. And I think next week too, or whenever the next episode is, I'm not committing to a week. Be real. I think next episode, I kind of am feeling called to like a pick a card situation, right? Like, they'll have different cards and you say, oh, pick this one, deck 1, pick this one, deck 2, pick this one, deck 3, even though it's backwards and I didn't do it right. Each pile of cards will have something different for whoever selected it. I love those ones. Those ones are really fun. And I think it would be kind of good too to do like a more in-depth, more tarot reading. I'm being called to that. I think that is kind of a caller strong right now than astrology, but I had to get this out. I had to get this out of my system. They're fighting within me, okay? But let's go ahead and get into this. I think we've had this one before, actually, so, you know, gotta keep up the work. Okay, I am breaking generational habits that once held my lineage behind. I am breaking generational habits or patterns that once held my lineage behind. And then the other one that we have, I do not welcome things into my life that dull my magnificence and stunt my ascension. I do not welcome things into my life that dull my magnificence and stunt my ascension. This is a good one. This is a good one. I am unlearning lack and scarcity. Abundance is a frequency I vibe on. I am unlearning lack and scarcity. Abundance is a frequency I vibe on. And sometimes I really feel that the cards read themselves. You know, sometimes I feel like they just do it and they don't even need any explanation for me, right? I'm breaking the generational patterns that once held my lineage behind. I do not welcome things into my life that dull my magnificence and stunt ascension. I am unlearning lack and scarcity. Abundance is the frequency that I vibe on, okay? It's having to let go of the past to welcome the future, you know? You have to open the door to let that old energy out and welcome in the new energy, okay? We are unlearning lack and scarcity. That is not something that we vibe on. That is not something that we live on, okay? Every time that you are sitting down and spiraling through the thoughts of, okay, well, what if this happens? Well, what if this thing, you know, what if this breaks? What if I lose this? What if I don't have this? Every moment that you spend considering those outcomes, you know, imagining these what if scenarios, you are putting your energy into that and you are actively manifesting that for yourself. That's manifestation. What you put your time and effort and energy into is what the universe is going to give back, okay? You get what you give. That's a law of the universe, baby. You get what you give. So, we're releasing lack and welcoming abundance. I think that's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I think this has been beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me on this wacky, wonderful episode. Feeling all of the wonderful vibes, feeling all of the creative vibes, feeling all of the astrological vibes, and feeling the abundant vibes, okay? But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to do the like, the comment, and the subscribe. And until next time, peace and love.